Chapter 4 Ven's Reality. The door creaked open slowly, revealing a figure. Ven grew terrified. Suddenly, Ven got a glimpse of the man's face and he started to hyperventilate. To his surprise, it was the terrified man on the train. Ven asked the man in horror,
"What have you done?"
The man replied, "It's simple. I killed her, along with 300 different versions of her from alternate realities. One where she isn't your mother, one where she was fat, one where she was still pregnant with you, and one where she was ugly. I could go on and on."
"But why?"
Ben said as he looked at the blood of his mother. "I am an essence collector, sent by him. For some reason, that woman had an essence equal to 1 million people. I've never seen anything like it. But it seems she was powerless, so that means someone must have touched her and subconsciously passed on the essence. Was it you? Or him?" he said while pointing at Matt. The man could be seen standing on air. Ven was so terrified that he didn't even notice.
How are you doing that? What are you?"
Matt was frozen from what he had just seen. He didn't even know how to react. He just stood there in a traumatized state, and soon he passed out. "Oh well," the man said. "I guess I'll just have to kill you both one by one." The man started to dash at Matt. Ven tried to run towards them and stop him, but he was too late. Blood was leaking in the scene. Ven stopped and gasped because it wasn't Matt who was stabbed. But if not Matt, then who? Who could it have possibly been?
"Ven, run while you can."
It was Mr. Sentry. He had ran in just in time to take the blow instead of Matt. Ven couldn't believe his eyes. Then suddenly, he had a flashback of his mother holding him in his arms. "Venero, you're special. When the time is right, you'll come to realize that. Always remember that you are able to create a world where anything is possible, even when it isn't. A world where simply everything exists, even when it doesn't." Suddenly, Ven burst with power from the inside. Purple aura around his fingers started to materialize, which pushed everyone back. The man who had stabbed Ven's father regained his footing and yelled,
"It's you! You're the one he's been looking for!"
How did he hide his essence? The man thought.
"Boy, I will kill you!"
The being warped behind Ven and went for his head, but Ven was gone. Suddenly, the being went flying at least 12 blocks down. The being kept spinning and spinning until finally a hill broke his fall. The being was flabbergasted.
"That attack just now, was it him? He hasn't even used his abilities. Was that brute strength? No, it lacked way too much power. I could feel it very slightly, but he's altering the laws of physics. He's bending reality to his will to get the results that he wants. Yet, I still don't detect any use of that aura surrounding his fingers."
The man started to grow angry.
No way I'm inferior," he said. "I am a memory of the reality corpse,"
the being said in a rage.
"It's all over for you. I'll snap you out of existence, you insolent creature!"
The man proceeded to snap, wiping away buildings and houses and everything else in the path in the process. Suddenly, Ven vanished, and the man celebrated his victory. Several seconds later, a figure instantly appeared in front of the man. It was Ven.
"What? How are you?"
Ven was just as surprised. However, the ring upon his index finger spoke to him through his subconsciousness. "Ah, I see. So I have reality resistance." The being looked in horror.
What? What did you just say?"
"Reality techniques that threaten to wipe me out essentially has no effect on me. At least not yours. It's way too weak."
"What? Weak?"
the being said.
"Do you know who I am? I am a member of the Reality Corps. You're finished."
The being ran towards Ven. Ven stuck his hand out and waved it in a downward motion. The ring that hovered above his index finger started to glow. The The man disappeared. Apparently, what Vin did was send that man into a pocket dimension, one that he had created within an instant. Vin simply closed his hands, and that pocket dimension had been destroyed with the man inside of it. Soon after, the ring dispersed. It turned into a normal ring. It was blue. Soon after, Vin noticed that there were other rings on the rest of his fingers. They all had black X's on them. Vin continued to look at his fingers in amazement. Suddenly, the voice in his head disappeared, and he remembered that his dad had just been stabbed. Vin ran back to his parents' staying place that had been destroyed. He had seen his father wounded right down next to Matt. Without a second to waste, he rushed to his aid.
Dad, breathe. Son, Matt, check Matt.
Vin looked over to Matt and seen that he was still passed out.
Matt's alright, Dad, but you're not.
Vin placed his hand on the wound as to apply pressure. That's when Vin realized that there was no blood. There was no wound.